Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show. It's for Sunday the 16th of February, and we race at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. There are 8 races on the go, and 12:30 will be the start of race number 1, which will kick off the exotics, which will be the first leg of the bipod. And I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. And looking forward to previewing the show with Sheldon Peters. Before we greet and say hi to Sheldon, let's have a look at our rerun in race 1.
400 metres to go, they're lining up for the lead. Bell Evangelist just the leader, Crafty. Barrington Blue's a runner on the outside of that one. Magical Sky, they're coming from everywhere. Treasure Island's also right there, and on the outside, Mystic Dancer. And it's Magical Sky, Treasure Island, and here comes Mystic Dancer. I think Magical Sky won it from Mystic Dancer. Treasure Island on the inside.
Okay, that was the rerun of race number 1, and as you can see, the Magical Sky form line well represented by the horses that have run. A lot of unknowns in the race. We'll keep an eye on the betting. Talking about the betting, let's bring up the field and have a look at the betting here. Race number 1, horse number 1, Bell of Angeles at 3-1. There is money for Omnia, number 2, Robbie Hill's runner, 16-1 into 7-1. Number 3, Captain's Pride at 3-1. Number 4, Treasure Island, that was running on for third there. That's at 9-10. Then we got double figures, the balance. So that's it. Sheldon Peters in studio, as I mentioned. Sheldon, just looking at race number 1, we had a look at that replay. Treasure Island looks the obvious horse from that form line, but there will be horses that will improve in the race, and one of them could be Captain's Pride, who was a touch unlucky at around the 300-meter mark there. Tight for room, and I see was just punched out with the hands by Dennis Schwartz. I think there'll be more to come from that filly. But you never know with these youngsters, because we've seen it time and time again on the improvement that they've shown. But for now, it looks like Treasure Island, the horse to beat on that form line. 3, Captain's Pride, the exacta horse, and I don't know much about the first-timers.
Well, I've got to agree with you 100%. These obviously the unknown mix with the raced runners and the unraced runners. We all know the story. The experience usually counts. But when a horse like the Robbie Hill team, which actually opened up 25-1 with Hollywood, shortened down 7-1, the early money's down. And this could be a runner who's razor sharp and been set up. A well-bred daughter of Rabada. And the Robbie Hill team, the other day they backed the horse Mountains of the Moon heavily, came through from 28-10 down 11-10. We really fancied it. They had a double on that day. Ideal Gift came through to win, and I think this could be a horse that might have been showing them some exceptional work back home. Robbie Hill sends out 2 runners on the day, so it'll be very interesting. Bell of Angeles, last time out, I wasn't there for the first race, but I believe got very sweated up, so they have gone with the earmuffs on, has the experience. Captain's Pride, for me, the horse that number 4, Treasure Island, has most to worry about. Lost the way coming to the 300, got inconvenienced, and perhaps just a little bit gun-shy to go through, and things didn't map out. So number 3, Captain's Pride, for me, the value in the race. But on the evidence of the first run, number 4, Treasure Island, was well fancied, showing up well, showing a lot of speed, and will probably be the horse to beat. So in race number 1, in closing up, number 4, Treasure Island, will be the horse to beat. Number 3, Captain's Pride, and 1, Bell of Angeles. Those are the 2 to chase home, and keep a strong eye on number 2, Omnia, from 5-1 down, 7-1 anti-post. Introducing race number 2, which is over 1,200 meters down the lane at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. We'll go straight to the interview with Gareth van Zyl, who saddles number 11, Are You Sure?
She's starting to find her own now. Filly that's been a little bit flighty. She's had to learn how to run, how to race at least. And yeah, I was of the opinion that she would have preferred the 5 furlong trip earlier on, but now she's showing us that in having learned to race more effectively, that the 12's within reach. So yeah, I like the straight for her, keeping her down the straight, I think suitable for her. And with Seanville in the irons, she's fit, she's well, she's in a good space, and expecting her to be right there in the finish.
Well, good comments there from Gareth van Zyl, and I actually gave him a call this morning just to get the permission to give the full go-ahead. I was here on Monday or Tuesday morning when they brought their horses to Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Poly to Gallop, just to get some work in with all the rain that's been around D's. And I watched this horse, Are You Sure, having a good workout. Had a nice workout from the 1,000-meter marker. So coming back from that 49-day absence, there's no problem at all. Looking fit, looking well, probably 90% ready for the run, but that's good enough for me to seal the deal. And when you look at the form lines, the Destiny of Fire form line came out to win again. You got horses like Lady of Distinction who've won 2, West Side Story, Hodgepodge, my one and only. So I think this is going to be a nice individual to come through. And then that Hot Lava form line, although number 6, Princess Goldie, did beat her on that occasion. Blowing in the Winds come out to win 2. And Gareth was quietly confident, but didn't give me that 10 out of 10. So I'm going to go number 11, Are You Sure, with the experience to win. Number 6, Princess Goldie, for my second selection. And she's going to be very fit after 14 days last seen out behind La Maddalena. And then numbers 5 and 13 for me. So numbers 11, 6, 5 and 13, race number 2.
Okay, I think we're on the same page with regards to numbers, just that I've shuffled mine around. I'll just give you the betting quickly with horses in single figures. Number 3, Midnight Hour, the first timer. Keep an eye on that. If the horse behaves at the start, that's what I'm told, has got a chance of running into the money. That's at 8-1, number 3. Number 5, Muscalor at 8-1. 6, Princess Goldie at 5-2. Then we got number 11, Are You Sure, at 28-10. And number 13, Shisantombi at 33-10. Sheldon's given his numbers, same numbers for me, just not in the same order. I'm going to go first, number 6, Princess Goldie. Ignoring that polytrack run, she does have some good form on the turf, and her last start, a good run. La Maddalena is trained by Gareth van Zyl, so they'll have a fairly good line with their chances on 11, Are You Sure. 13, Shisantombi. I must just compliment Mrs. Mtlozi, because she is somebody who is involved in breeding, and she always supports the Wendy Whitehead runner, and she's bred this filly, the daughter of Erupt, who improved big time at her second start and has the services of Governor Arena. 11, Are You Sure? You heard it from Sheldon. I rubber stamped that. And then horse number 5, Miss Galore, has got scope for a lot of improvement to come. So same numbers, but different order. I'm going 6, 13, 11, and 5. It is the start of the bipod. Personally, I think you need 3 runners here, numbers 6, 13, and 11. You good with that? 6, 13, and 11 for the bipod?
Yes, I'll be good at those 3 numbers. I think that should show us through. So hopefully everything goes according to plan, and you, the player, will see you in the winner's enclosure or the second and third spot.
Well, the big one, the pick 6, begins in race number 3 at 1340, maiden plate, 1,200 meters, and let's get straight into the field. 20-2, you need to get on the tote with that pick 6, and looking at the fields, and being a Sunday, a standalone meeting, hopefully we get it well supported and we get to a healthy pool. So, race number 3, horse number 1, Trend Maker, 28-10, Doug Campbell and Sereno Mudley. Then we go along to number 6, Good Living, Paul Lafferty and Muzieni, 12-10. Number 8, Little Cracker at 7-2, that's Matthew Tuckery for Tony Riverland. And we got number 10, which is Montremblant at 5-1. I think this race looks tailor-made for horse number 6, Good Living, to possibly get it right. Yes, the horse has had many chances, having his 13th run this afternoon. But looking at the way he races and the fact that there is lack of speed with the other runners in the race, I think it could be a start-to-finish victory for this horse. Muzi has ridden this horse on many occasions, 6 times 5 places. He knows the horse well. It looks like the right field for him. Can you be confident to have a go on the head? Well, 12-10 tells a story on what the fixed odds betting market says about the horse. But for the place accumulator, 100% banker. Number 1, Trend Maker. I don't know what happened last time out, Sheldon, but the poly track, he just seemed to be one-paced. I think if he just brings his form that I know back home, he does exceptionally well at his gallops, etc. He's a horse that can go very close to winning this. Horse number 8, which is going to be Little Cracker. On the run to Top Gun, he looks well held by Good Living. And then number 10, MJ Ordendaal's runner. Very, very strange that they dropped the horse from an improvement over 1800 to a 1200. That is the choice they've made for number 10, Mont Tremblant, with the claim 4. I'm going 6, 1, 8, and 10, but a banker for me in the PA, number 6, Good Living. For the pick 6, I'm inclined to just include one more runner, number 1, Trendmaker.
Well, Dees, when it comes down to the crunch, I can tell you that they've gone with blinkers on numbers 6 and 10. So Mont Tremblant and number 6, Good Living. And I believe the way that Good Living races, the blinkers could just seal the deal. He's a horse who seems to hang around and he doesn't quite concentrate. So at around 12 to 10 with those blinkers on, I put it this way: simple, right race, right field, right form, add the combination together and you got the winning recipe. So when it comes to race number 3, number 6, Good Living at 12 to 10 does look very, very tough to beat. Number 1, Trendmaker, I do have healthy respect for. Career best did come this distance. And a horse who is still learning to race, ran second to Top Gun on debut. So the Paul Lafferty stable will have a good guard there because he trades Top Gun, and Top Gun he'll obviously know exactly what it takes. So Trendmaker will be the second selection, and then horses like Sovereign Command. I think this is a horse back to basics, 1200, could be a significant runner here. But number 6, Good Living, he's got the ideal opportunity to break out of the maiden jail, and if the blinkers do the trick, I believe he wins this contest. Stepping into the territory of race number 4, which is Jackpot 1, we do have a rerun of Imalenze Yokoduduma, and this is an individual who's really rising to the task at hand, looking for the hat-trick, and then also interviews with trainer Mark Dixon, Frank Robinson, and once again Gareth Van Zyl.
Fights back, Celtic Beauty towards the inside, Kitchakal, Imalenze Yokoduma, and on the outside, Navajo Nation. Saluk was also trying to get into the race. Coming to the 200 though, Imalenze Yokoduma and Celtic Beauty over the last 100 with Narina Trogon. Royal Victory's running late. Imalenze Yokoduma has won it. Second, Narina Trogon, Royal Victory, then Silikwa involved with Celtic Beauty.
Yeah, Malcolm's Dream, obviously it's a competitive race, but I'm in an R in whether to run her. And when she did draw 1 and the sex allowance, I thought with 50 on her back, Cole can do 50. I thought it was definitely worth taking a chance. She seems very well in herself, very temperamental as we always know, but she's getting slightly better. You know, she puts her best foot forward. I think she'll have a good competitive each way chance.
Yeah, look, we galled him and gave him a break. He had obviously had an interrupted work program with the rain, and that night the track was very, very heavy. And he was sitting up maybe a bit close. He's got tired the last bit. I expect a lot more from him, but he's come through it well. He's got a lightweight in this race. He'll be a runner in this race because he's got ability.
Yes, yeah, he's loving life at the moment, and the trick with him has been giving him the spells, the little rest on Ashburton, the Hollywoodbets Ashburton facility. So yeah, the Hollywoodbets, the Hollywood Syndicate team, Anthony and his team, they've been doing a great job. Nicole and them, great job resting him. And after this previous start, he went for a little spell there, and he came back, and we've missed a bit of work with all the rain. So that probably might have affected him a bit more than others in the race. Our goal isn't this race, but we weren't going to actually run him here, but we're using it to just make sure he's fit for a race in Johannesburg on the 1st of March. So not expecting him to be at his very best for these reasons, but obviously hoping he's good enough, or fits enough to win, but he may just lack a little bit of sharpness for this event. With all of that in mind.
Well, having a chat to Gareth van Zyl, I know when I chatted earlier on, he brought about 10 or 12 horses to gallop here on Monday or Tuesday when I was here. I'm not sure if Imelenze Yokodaduma was one of those, but this individual is a hat-trick seeking and looking to beat horses again. He beat Salukwe in the penultimate run and then last time beat Narina Trogon. They're going to lock horns again, and if you look at horses like Narina Trogon, will carry the same weight of 59.5 kilograms, whereas Imelenze Yokodaduma will go up to 62.5, and the penultimate run with Salukwe and Diani plus 2.5 kilograms. 7-time winner who's done exceptionally well for the stable. They've hit purple and yellow form, the colors of the Hollywood racing. Obviously, they're going to be a big runner here. And just looking at the betting for this event, let me just get the device to work. 33-10 the field. Number 5, Former Gear, 33-10. Number 3, Narina Trogon at 33-10, along with number 7, Imelenze Yokodaduma, Legs of Thunder. Number 6, Diani is 9-2 with number 4, Field Marshal. An interesting runner could be number 2, African Skyline, trying this trip for the first time, D's. And then the long shot is number 1, Malcolm's Dream. We're not going to spend too much time on the Fever Tree Stakes. I've elected to go the field here because I can't put heads or tails here.
Yeah, and I think after listening to Gareth van Zyl, it'll maybe be worth playing it wide now because he's given you a list of reasons as to why the horse may not win. But the fact is, he's in the form of his life as a 6-year-old, achieving his highest rating to date of a 114. He's in good form, he's on a hat-trick, but you heard it from Garrett. There are other races that they have in mind for the horse. But if he does win, well, good luck. If he doesn't, it's not going to be a train smash for Hollywood racing. So we've given his airtime. Number 5, Former Gear, serious runner here. On his runs behind William Robertson and Imelenze Yokodaduma, I believe he wasn't himself on the day. He showed his wellness last time out behind Cat's Pajamas. Larina up, big chance. Horse number 7 is going to be my second choice. So I'm going to go 5, Former Gear to beat number 7, Imelenze Yokodaduma. 3, Narina Trogon will have every opportunity of reversing the form with the Gareth van Zyl runner being 1.5 kgs better off. And then I like number 2, African Skyline in all bets here because whilst he hasn't won for some time, he won't be a shock winner. And I must add that whilst I prefer others for the win, he is going to go into the pick 6, number 2, African Skyline. You heard it from Mark Dixon on the fence whether he was going to run number 1, Malcolm's Dream, but the fact is she's so nicely weighted. She does top the best weighted column. He decided to take his chances there. So it looks a bit of a tricky race. Field Marshal, Frank Robinson mentioned the gelding. He's going to run well with that low weight. And Diani, you can never write off. He is a very good horse on his day. Whilst he prefers 1,400 meters, this is only 100 meters further. So Sheldon suggesting the field in the pick 6. With 7 runners, if I have to play with my rule, it's only going to have to be 3 runners. And if you want to choose 3 runners for the pick 6, in numerical order, it'll be 3, 7, and 5. Or 3, 5, and 7 in numerical order. 5, 7, and 3 in order of preference. But I just want to include one more runner there, and that's number 2, African Skyline. So all the best in the Fever Tree Stakes, 1,500 meters the distance. You got the interviews from the respective yards. You saw that replay. Now it is for you to make the choice. On to race number 5, it's Jackpot 2, and this is over 1,750 meters. It is a Class 4 race. And we've got some interviews for you. If you need to get on the tote by 14:50 if you want to play Jackpot 2. Interviews, race 5.
Yeah, Jazz Festival, I'd say Craig gets on very well with him. I think his 17:50 won't worry him at all, although his best trip to date has been the mile. Last time he was very unlucky, came from a long way back, but he got done twice, flying at the finish. So everything goes well for him. I think he's a massive runner on Sunday.
Yeah, no, he's a horse I like. He's also a rate, and I think he'll win his races. Obviously, this thing we accept and then you get the draw afterwards is not made easy because now he's drawn wide, but we'll leave him alone in the race. Also, again, had a lot of rain, so a lot of their work has been interrupted, but I'll give him a chance to let him run on, but throw him in the exotics because I think he's quite a nice type and will improve.
Nice comments coming through from both stables there, so worth including. Race number 5, as we bring up the field, we'll give you some betting as a guide. The fixed odds betting market. Number 1, JP's Palace at 9-2. Horse number 4, View of the World, is at 4-1. 5, Fireburst at 5-1. 6, Master of Destiny at 5-1. 7, Jazz Festival. You had to like the comments coming through from Mark Dixon there at 9-2. Number 9, Global Movement at 6-1. And it's double figures the balance. Well, this race, I'm just going with 5 runners and all bets. If I don't get through with these 5 runners, then it's out. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Going to lead with horse number 5, Fireburst, Mike de Kock and Matthew de Kock. Just ran 7 days ago, but I like that run behind Ideal Gift. I think they found a nice race for this horse, up in class but down in weight. Carried 61.5 last time out. She'll think she's loose on Sunday. 53 kgs on her back. If she's taken that run well, they've nominated her here. If she runs, I think a massive contender against the boys. Number 5, Fireburst. Second choice going to be number 9, Global Movement. She just seems to have Jazz Festival's number, Sheldon. Each time he races, he gets the better of Jazz Festival. It could be the same this time round. But if Jazz Festival has to reverse it, then you heard it from Mark. He likes his horse a lot. That's going to be my second choice, 9. Third choice going to be number 6, which is Master of Destiny. And I found a form line here on the it is the 8th of September. If you just do the math and work out the weight. The one that View of the World beat, Master of Destiny. If you just work out the weights, it's now 10 kgs in favor of Master of Destiny. I mean, that's a big weight swing around. So if you're looking for the value between Paul Lafferty's runner and Master of Destiny, no doubt it's with the older horse there. So that's going to be my third choice, 5, 9, 6. And for fourth, I'll tip 7, Jazz Festival. So I'm going to go 5, 9, 6, and 7.
Well, these, with the current weather around, the going is currently good to soft as we record, and we know it is currently raining here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, so we'll keep a close eye on the weather report. Tomorrow they are predicting, or if you are watching it on the morning, 30 degrees, so it all depends how much rain they have on Saturday, but the going is good to soft. And you've got to look at a horse like Master of Destiny. He's got 1 win in the soft. Jazz Festival, 3 victories in the soft conditions, and a few of them really enjoy the sting out the ground. So JP's Palace, you've got to decide if you're going to be with the 3-year-olds. Bold showing on the cards. I think the famous Warrior form line is going to come to the 4. Arctic Fury, they pulled off a betting coup last time out. Got up 10 points for that run. Bella's Pablo, currently off form, but gets a rating drop and the 4 kgs off. Number 4, View of the World, saddle slipped last time out, so a creditable run. You touched on 5, Fireburst. Master of Destiny, I'm with you, as long as his shoes stay on. His last 3 runs, his shoes have come off, and in the stick.
We'll leave that to Stuart Ferry and
I think they're going to have to strap them on. They're going to have to glue them on, get super glue. 100%. But I'm with you there. 6, Master of Destiny. He's achieved exceptionally well for the stable, and if he can bring his A game to the track, I believe he's the horse they've got to beat. Jazz Festival runs on strongly, needs luck in the running, and then you've got horses like number 9, Global Movement. But I think we've covered our bases here. Very open-looking affair. You've got the numbers from D's, and I think look at the track conditions on the day. But a horse like number 6, Master of Destiny, he's an old soldier in the game, but he's still got a few bullets left to fire. As we step on the gas and move along to race number 6, we're going to go straight to the interview package, and that is with Frank Robinson and also trainer Mark Dixon to give us some guidance.
Yeah, again, a horse that just needed time. He didn't have the greatest joints, so we needed to let those settle down. He'll get better, this horse. I think he'll win his races as well. But I think he'll just need this run, and he'll be coming from off the pace, probably finishing nicely.
Escapologist, yeah, it's always difficult, I believe, taking on the boys. Drawn 10 of 10, but it's on the day. I think she has the ability to be competitive. Obviously going to need a bit of luck in running. We got that whole of the back straight to get in and hopefully drop her in mid-dib and get over, get some cover. If you have a two-handy, this horse, she doesn't quicken, so a lot of it will be in Serena's hands, but if things go well, you know, she can be competitive on the day.
Well, quite a competitive looking event, and the betting number 1 Nocturnal Flight is adjusted 22-10 because scratched is number 4 Giver's Grace. So at the early time of recording, number 4 Giver's Grace out, 9 runners to face the starter. 22 to 10, number 1, Nocturnal Flight. My first selection, number 5, Send Me, 33 to 10, along with number 3, Fine Admiral. 11 to 2, number 6, Ricardo, and then it's 10 to 1 about number 9, Intuitive Spirit. Now D's number 1, Nocturnal Flight, that famous Warrior Formula line once again pops up here, and although finishing 1.7 lengths behind Famous Warrior and at 400 to finish 24.3, this horse number 5, Send Me, really caught the eye. I watched the replay over and over, and I'd encourage viewers to go onto the Gallop YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch this replay of Send Me. Came from an impossible position and was a second quicker, which is equal to around about 4 or 5 lengths. So I believe Send Me, dropping down to a 73 in the ratings, that would have been a nice pipe opener, and coming from way off the gallop, dropping down in the 3 points in the merit rating department. I believe the money is going to come. Opened up at 6 to 1, adjusted 4 to 1, now 33 to 10. And the Tony Riverland stable, they've employed Kabela Matsanyane, cheap pieces on, and I think the extra trip's going to be right up his alley. So for me, number 5, Send Me, to beat number 1, Nocturnal Flight, and number 8, Rodriguez.
Yeah, 5, 1, and 8 for Sheldon. Just the betting, number 1, Nocturnal Flight. Sheldon mentioned 22 to 10. 3, Fine Admiral is at 33 to 10. 5, Send Me, 33 to 10. 6, Ricardo at 11 to 2, and it's double figures, the balance. I agree with Sheldon, numbers 5 and 1. I've tipped them 8, 1, 10, and 5. I'm going with the 14 to 1 shot here. Sheldon has given us a mention to number 8, Rodriguez, as part of his top 3. I don't believe this horse is a 14 to 1 shot. Famous Warrior, we keep bringing up the form line on this show. Second behind Famous Warrior. Last time out, 2,000 meters stretched. I don't think he's as effective over further than he's over shorter. 1,750 meters, no issue for him. Dennis Schwartz has teamed up successfully, traveling down for Louis Courson. The horse has won twice on the course. All he needs is a bit of luck from the draw. He always seems to run his best races when he's given a patient ride, so I don't expect him to try and beat the draw here, number 8, Rodriguez. 14 to 1 looks too generous. That's going to be the top pick, ahead of number 1, Nocturnal Flight, then number 5, Send Me. And I'll give a mention to Mark Dixon's runner. Whilst I hear him, it's tough against the boys. She'll need some luck from the draw. The fact is, she runs some of her better races at the course. So 8, 1, 10, and 5 going to play the play here in race number 6. But the value for me is going to be number 8, Rodriguez, as an each-way play at 14 to 1. I'm suggesting that those odds are too generous.
Well, Dees, it's quite interesting because Rodriguez actually beat Nocturnal Flight and Send Me in that race. Correct. And they're the top 2 in the betting. So when you're a form studier,
I don't understand how he comes up at 14 to 1.
14 to 1 looks an absolute steal. So if you are backing Nocturnal Flight and Send Me, number 8, Rodriguez at 14 to 1, this should be like a 5 to 1 shot.
It's a bigger price. I mean, when you're looking at horses that are 33 to 10 and 22 to 10,
100%.
I mean, a horse at 14 to, even if you go places,
100%.
You're going to get a much bigger price.
There we go.
So I think the horse is wrongly priced up.
100%. You've heard from Dees, although I'm strongly in the camp at number 5, Send Me, from number 1, Nocturnal Flight, and 8, Rodriguez. When the push comes down to the crunch, 14 to 1 is definitely the wrong price, and I don't believe number 8, Rodriguez, can be left loose at that price.
Are we on to race number 7, and this is a middle stakes over 1,200 meters. It's the last double on the card. It will take place at 4:05. So in this race, we got a rerun and we got some interviews, but I will tell you that number 3, Riverstone, is a scratching. So Garrett Frenzel was obviously recorded during the course of the week, but let's go to that rerun and the interview package.
In for a run, getting the cues on the outside. Captain's Christie still got about 4 or 5 lengths to make up. Absolute Stampede. War Empress comes into the lead. Getting the cue on the outside. Captain's Christie's running on from behind. War Empress the leader over the last 100. And it's War Empress. Captain's Christie's coming late. They're going to hit the line. Oh, I think War Empress held on. Captain's Christie second. Bevy's Delight's involved with getting the cue.
Getting the cue, yeah, she's a nice filly. Now they've amalgamated the 2 races, at least we're on the race course, I suppose, but taking on the boys again. But she always tries her hardest. Craig gets on well with her. Oh, you know, she'll be there or thereabouts. Yeah, Captain's Christie. Yeah, I think she's really coming herself now. She seems exceptionally well, working really well. Loves Scottsville. I think the 12 at Scottsville is her limit. Doesn't seem to travel all that well there either. That's probably what got her beat last time. But you know, she's very competitive in this race. So you know, hoping for the best anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Such a nice looking horse. Been very disappointing, but he's always had this issue with not jockeys don't think he's moving great. We get vets and we try to, we can't find him. Eventually I just gave him a long break and said, well, I'm coming back now. But yeah, I think he could run 2 quartets.
Yes, dropping in the ratings has been helpful for her, or it's been necessary for her. Last start didn't help anything. She needs to find a better form. Maybe even dropping a few more points might help. It didn't help that we lost the fillies and mares 1200, so it's been joined with the colts and geldings. Obviously we do get a mistakes allowance, but I don't think that's going to be enough for her at the moment with the form that she's currently in.
Okay, that's Garrett van Zyl talking about Convocation with number 3 Riverstone scratching. So it's crunch time now, decision time on how we're going to play it, but let's give you the betting first as we bring up the field. Number 2 Perella is at 5-1. There will be adjustments after the scratching of number 3 Riverstone that was trading at 3-1, so keep an eye on that. I'm giving you the betting prior to the scratching. Number 4 getting the cue at 7-1. There is money Hollywoodbets for number 6 Bourbon Warrior, 12-1 into 8-1. Number 8, Captain's Christie at 7-2. Number 11, Baby's Delight at 7-1. And it's double figures, the balance. Yep, I like the look of Captain's Christie. That replay doesn't tell a true story because she was left at the start. She had a ton of ground to make up. The bird had flown War Empress. She was the faster finisher behind that winner. All she needs to do, as Mark Dixon mentioned, just travel well, jump on terms. You know, if she gets away on terms, I think she's a massive runner in this field, even though taking on the boys. Horse number 11, Baby's Delight. I don't think they'll much between numbers 8 and 11. I think she'll run well. So you can see I'm leaning towards the fairer sex here, Sheldon, because my third choice is number 2, Perella. I think she's versatile. She's done nothing wrong in the province. And Dennis Bosch has done an excellent job with her. Whether it's 1200 to 1600 meters, you know that you're going to get a solid shift from number 2, Perella. And then for the minor positions, I've picked out 2 runners. One of them is Bourbon Warrior. The only problem I have with Bourbon Warrior is most of the time you're going to know your fate at the start because he tends to play up. He often misses the break, but he still won 2 of his 4 runs to date. If he jumps on terms, if he goes in quietly, I think he's a massive runner. And then the horse that you liked last time out, Smorgasbord, wasn't penalized too much for winning last time out. So I think if the confidence is up, the horse didn't win for a long time, maybe can go back to back. So I'm going to tip them 8, 11, 2 as a very solid top 3, and then numbers 6, 1, and 7 if you're looking for cover.
Yes, D's last time out, number 1, Smorgasbord, from 20-1 went 25-1. I did suggest the punters back 3 horses in the race. They were betting 7-1 the field. Yes. So I said back the top 2, and I said Smorgasbord at 20-1, got to be the value in the race. Unfortunately, I left just before the race, so I had to listen on the phone and my dad calling them down in a short-head finish. So my heart stopped beating for quite a while, and you wait for that result to come up. But I was glad when the number went into the frame and the 25-1 came through. So Smorgasbord did us a real good turn for the Louis Gerson outfit. He was a 118 at the height of his career, so he's got to be a big runner. Interesting when you look at the best weighted column, the fillies fill that up.
Correct.
They take centre stage when it comes down to the best weighted column. So you could be spot on with number 2, Perilla. And I can tell you that number 14, Convocation, did come to Hollywoodbets and Gallop. And she put up a very nice gallop, let go at the time, and she got a nice blow out there. The interesting runner for me is number 7, Q Wing. On the card, we got that horse earlier from Garth Puller, which you like a little bit of. And the same colours, Q Wing. If it was 1400, I'd say this would be the horse that I'd be going for quite strongly with the 4 kgs off. Distance-wise, he has got 1 win over the trip, but it's a very, very competitive lineup. So I'm going to stick with number 1, Smorgasbord, as a little bit of an each-way selection. But number 7, Q-Wing, look at his wet form. 4 wins in the wet from his 7 wins. So if the track comes up soft, which it should do on the day, I think he's going to come through and run an absolute blinder into the money.
Yeah, I also think Q-Wing gets a mention from me if you're playing for a result in the Pick 6, because whilst this may be on the sharp side with the claim 4 and a go quick, they could play into the hands of the 7-year-old. I think this young man just needs to be patient and believe that the horse will find a finish, number 7 Q-Wing, because he won't give you all the confidence in the world from the get-go, but he does find a good finish. So the quicker they go, the better it could be for number 7 Q-Wing. So in summarizing, Sheldon being loyal to number 1 Smorgasbord, and why not with the horse that won at big price last time out. But the fillies dominate the best weighted column, and it could be a race for the fairer sex. 8, 11, 2 horses to include if you're looking for roughies. 1, 6, and 7 get the vote from the studio in race number 7. It's a nice trifecta quartet to catch here, race number 7.
Well, if you're still standing in race number 8, if you are in front, you'll be playing for free. If you are behind, we're going to try and guide you in the right direction. We do have an interview with trainer Gareth van Zyl, and let's see what he has to say about his runner.
Fortuador. Miss Paget is down the inside. Copacabana behind that Regeneration. Happy Analia still the leader. Fortuador. Regeneration starting to warm up with Miss Paget and State Secrets on the outside. Regeneration though comes into the lead, and it's Regeneration going on to win. Second will go to Fortuador. Close for third, State Secret or Happy Analia.
Yes, honest filly. She did nicely in Cape Town. Obviously the last start wasn't her best, but she's had time to acclimatise. She hadn't KZN. She's a light frame filly, won't need, I don't think she should be in much need of the run, and she could be a contender here.
So I've gone with the headgear back on to get a closer insight into race number 8, where number 6 Regeneration puts the unbeaten record on line. 2 from 2, been very, very impressive. Been stylish wins to date. It's been poetry in motion. The slight question for me is that last run. They've had 15 runs from there and no windies. Currently trading 18 to 10. Number 4 2Gs is 33 to 10. Number 5, Pour Some Sugar on Me, 6 to 1. Number 3, West Side Story, 8 to 1. And number 10, Green Light All the Way, is 10 to 1. We're going to get back to number 6, Regeneration. There are 2 horses that I like at a big price. Number 2, Ethereal View. I think below par recently, and I think a form return is on the cards. Did win 4 runs back, beating Way to Burn, and then ran third behind Safe and Sound. Is running off an 80. I think this is going to be a competitive runner. And then my main value in the event is going to be number 8, Sunshine Day. Now they've taken their time with this 4-year-old Patala Palace, lightly raced, and at 20 to 1 you go back to the earlier form. Ran third to Prince of Green in an average rating of a 90. The merit rating was 100 that day. Then she ran in the 90s, the 91s, just seemed to lost her form. She has got issues. Riding inquiry, hampered, not striding out, tongue over the bit, lost 4 lengths. So this one needs some serious attention. But MJ Oudendal, he's the right man for the job. When they got quirks, MJ Oudendal can sort them out, and they put a tongue tie on. Dropped from a 90 down to a 77. Last time tore away from them and just stopped late on. The form line has been well franked. Tamaris has come out to win. Lucrative has won 2. And I think it was Ronnie of Jansi who came through to win. So I think the value could be fruitful and worth taking a gamble. If you like number 6 Regeneration and you're having a strong bet on this individual, I would suggest that you cover with numbers 2, which is Ethereal View at 16 to 1, and number 8 Sunshine Day. I can't give you confidence, but if she brings her A game to the track Ds, these are the type of horses that can make the exotics pay.
And you've given 2 big outsiders. I've got 1 more to add. So Sheldon likes 2 Ethereal View. This is a quartet to catch now. 16 to 1. and number 8 Sunshine Day at 20 to 1. The favorite is at 18 to 10, Regeneration. I must agree, we don't know how good she's going to turn out to be, what mark she is going to achieve, whether she can carry 62 kgs racing off a 91 over 1400 coming off a break, and it's a 3-month layoff. She's good. How good she is, well, let's see on Sunday. But how confident can you be at 18 to 10? So we're giving her airtime. 2 Gs you heard from Garrett van Zyl. Now Sheldon has picked out number 2 at 16 to 1. He's picked out number 8 Sunshine Day at 20 to 1. We've mentioned the fancied runners, that's 2 Gs and Regeneration. I've got one for you. Number 10, Green Light All the Way at 10 to 1. I'm going to say this, and I honestly feel that last time out, she is a filly that didn't get the distance. Go and have a look at that replay. She was there to a point at the 400-meter mark. She looked like if she finds a finish, she goes pretty close to winning it. She was one-paced. In fact, she was going backwards rather than forwards over that 1900-meter trip. This is more a game. I like the fact that she now goes 1400 meters. The distance is going to suit her much better. She's run close up to Radu and Safe and Sound over 1600 meters. So even though she's poorly drawn, I fancy my chances yet around 10 to 1 with number 10, Green Light All the Way. So in closing, you got a 16 to 1 shot to include in all your bets, number 2, Ethereal Drew, that Sheldon likes. Also likes a 20 to 1 shot in number 8, Sunshine Day. And I like a 10 to 1 shot in number 10, Green Light All the Way. Imagine if those 3 had to fill in the trifecta position. I think we can take a few days off in the month of February.
I think we'll take a few months off. So looking at the race, I also like a bit of number 10, Green Light All the Way at 10 to 1. So you've got to structure your bets according to your budget and how you're looking to play. Regeneration's unbeaten. We don't know. The sky's the limit for her. She could wake up the stars and she could be really decent. She could go right through to the top. If she wins, she's going to come through with flying colours. But as we suggested, 16 to 1 Ethereal View, 20 to 1 Sunshine Day, and 10 to 1 Green Light All the Way. Maybe have a few little rand on each of those runners. And if Regeneration fluffs her lines, the boys will collect.
Even if she runs, even if she wins, and you get the horses that
swingers.
Correct. You know, that's the way. There are multiple bets that are available on the tote on the way to structure. If you're not a guy that goes for the glory and the punt on the head, there are many bets that you can play around with, especially when you're finding outsiders like this 8th race where there are 3 nice outsiders that have been picked up from the show and maybe they could feature. But that is it. And as always, thanks to Sheldon Peters and the Gallop TV team, and to you, the valued racing fan. Well, hopefully it turns out to be one of those days that you'll remember at Hollywoodbets Scottsville on the Sunday the 16th. Until we meet again, you take care. Gosh.
Welcome back. It's that time of the show where we go through the suggested bet. And before we go through the suggested bet, Deez and I have gone through a race-by-race summary. And I would suggest that you follow each race, watch it, because there's quite a bit of value and some good insight. And hopefully we come out on top. When it comes down to the selected bets for the day, you'll notice my value bets. Race 1, number 3, Captain's Pride. Very unlucky first time out, got hampered, things didn't map out, and I believe it's going to be a different proposition on this occasion. And then race 8, number 8, Sunshine Day. Here's a runner who's come down in the ratings, has a multitude of problems, has more problems than more problems, but if deciding to run on the day, at 20 to 1, you can't get burnt. And then the best bet, it looks too obvious, race 3, number 6, Good Living. But at around 12 to 10, the blinkers have been added. If Good Living's going to win a race, this is going to be the time to make a bit of a living out of Good Living. So that's a wrap from myself, Sheldon Peters, and thanks very much to Deez joining me on the show. On behalf of the Gallop TV team, like, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell, and you end up in the winner's queue.